Hi, everybody out in YouTube land. What's good tonight? What's good tonight? Hey, okay, look at all the people here already. Ooh, good to see ya. Let's see. We have Dave Bradshaw. Ooh, my favorite, bestest subject. Hook me up, Miss Susie. Oh, yes. Yes, we have a couple things to talk about tonight. Like, Gadalkan. Howdy, y'all. Susie makes a rough week like it never happened. Hi, Eugene. Nice to see you. Alan K. Old Santa Fe Trading Co. Forrest said he'd hide his biography in a long forgotten alcove in the Library of Congress. Alan K. Ooh, you're so good. Yeah, I got an email from a searcher named Rick, and I'm gonna read what he had to say, and let's talk about it. Why not? Because yeah, okay. And what else? I should keep going. Oh, that's from Alan K. Hi, Alan K. And K Pro. Favorite Fen night, Susie night. Thanks, K Pro. Thanks for coming on in. As I know, Mike is A, sorting comic books, or B, video game glued to some whatever I don't know. So good to see you. Winston G. Happy Valentine's Day. Or isn't that what Happy Valentine's. Thank you, Winston. Nice to see you. Thanks for stopping in. Gallatin Ghost. Finhaven Friday with Susie. Yay. Hi, Gallatin Ghost. Good to see ya. Just wonder if Netflix has called lately. Oh, God. I know. I can make up more things. Like the troll that threw that email and the fake finder to Capro. That could be just a troll trying to gauge the water, try to measure interest. Still, that people would jump on and on most knows. Let's see how many people would do that. Let's see what happened. What's the reaction? I don't know. I got theories. But that's not why we're here. Who made me think of that? Oh, yeah. Galaxy Goes. Netflix called. Hi, Street. Hi, MJ Inzer. JK Pioneer. My chat locked up. Uh-oh. My Wi-Fi looks solid, and it's all good. So, yes, I got trolled. I have the troll sword from Indy. I put it on the sweater, but it kept getting caught on my. Come here, you little shit bag. I'm gonna. Okay, Alan K. Yes. Okay. I have 2 screenshots of the blog on Old Santa Fe Trading Company, but they deleted that whole thing, that whole blog. Way to grab the screens, because there's just some things that are like, the Wayback Machine too probably has ways. Because there were things on that I learned looking at the Wayback Machine, Old Santa Fe Trading Company, about that the poem had a title called Where the Treasure Lies. And that was removed. The title was removed. So anyway, I found that on the Wayback Machine, but that was on Old Santa Fe Trading Company. Hi, Huli. Hi, it's good to see you. Hi, Two Trips. Hi, Lucky Digger. Good to see ya. David. Hi, thanks for joining. Toby was looking for the wrong book. Sits or tells fibs. Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to focus because let's get on with the show. Let's have a real show and talk about real things, real ideas. Let's talk about ideas instead. And so I have two things. Yes, the Library of Congress email from Rick that I'm going to read right now. And then Baron Fendi Look for Stuff is the name of the channel. And those guys have been going through or talking about the Too Far to Walk book, right? And K-Pro reminded me by talking about, or somebody reminded, somehow we got onto how many emails have you ever gotten from Forrest Fenn was like the question or the topic or something. I said, whatever. One of the emails where Forrest did respond to me was, I asked him if I could read Too Far to Walk on YouTube. It was split. It was a absolute. Can I show the book and read it on YouTube, on my YouTube channel? It was just like, boom, and he said he didn't care what I did as long as I remained respectful to him and his family. He answered me, and it was like, whoa. But what I'm not telling you guys is that I read half the damn book live on YouTube, or not live, but did videos on about, I don't know, 14, 15 chapters or so before I sent that email asking for permission. But he didn't stop me. Nobody stopped me either. So, I mean, and then it was like, should I ask him? And so then I did. I don't know if he thought, God, this girl has balls, man, or if he just thought she is clueless. What in the hell is she thinking? And I think it was a little of both. I just thought, let's see what happens. Whatever. But okay. So anyway, I have Forrest's written permission, and it says copyright by Forrest Fenn right in the copyright by Forrest Fenn, all rights reserved. And he gave me the right. I'm like, I think I'm like the only one besides his family or who really owns, they probably, I don't know if that, now that he's passed, is that email I got saying, okay, does that stand? I don't know. But what I'm going to do, what I was thinking of doing is, because I feel like, okay, well, they can tell me to stop if they want, and I can take this down. But I want to read, because he said, remember when he said in the 2013 Toby Eunice, Toby, Unlucky Digger, did you write in that book? No, I took really good care of this book. I have sticky notes, but not anything, not pen marks. Nope, not in this book. This book was a gift. This book came from, this was a gift. So I felt like I owed it a certain higher amount of respect. And it's also the very first printing of this book. I have the first, one of the first copies, first printing. Yeah, so it's something really special and awesome, and I love this book to death. But okay, so I'm gonna read the preface again, and let's look at it with different eyes, since Forrest said I could, right? I think he would say, okay. Anyway, let's start with the email though. Let's go back to the what do you call it? Library of Congress email. Okay. So I get this email. Here's what I'm having. Okay, here's my beverage of choice tonight. Again, Miller. It's Miller 64 extra light beer. Of course. I poured it in a glass with a couple olives. So cheers to you. Friday night. Woo! Okay. He says, here's my thought. Forrest said everyone should file their memoir at the Library of Congress. If Jack found Forrest's memoir at the Library of Congress, he would be able to determine the location without the poem or the book or clues. Forrest would have certainly included the location in his memoir. The sealed jar was not open because Jack already read Forrest's memoir. Therefore, it was not necessary to break the seal because Forrest already stated it was his memoir that was in the jar. See, this is good, isn't it? Okay. That would explain why Jack said he found the spot where Forrest wanted to die without being able to fully attach them to the poem. But here's where, okay, explain why Jack said he found the spot where Forrest wanted to die. But we don't know that little part. What he did say, what Jack did say, is that he figured out where Forrest wanted to die. That's right. But we don't know. How do we know without being able to fully attach them to the poem? He obviously attached them to the poem. But that's still, I still like your theory. Okay, keep going. That was just my the 25 trips it took to locate the chest without the direction of the poem or the book may be the reason for not being able to walk to it if he started with the location only. Oh my God. Let me read that again because I started rolling away, which I am. And attention span. The 25 trips it took to locate the chest without the direction of the poem or the book may be the reason for not being able to walk to it if he started with location only. I'm trying to just have a thought about Jack did say he found the location Forrest wanted to die first. And then in one of his email responses to one of the searchers, he had said something to the effect he wasn't looking in that part of the area of Forrest the first time when he went there in 2018. So, okay, anyway, I added that. Okay. Possibly being the reason why Jack can't fill in the blanks. And from Forrest's remarks that he was disappointed with the ending as to how it was found. Forrest didn't ever, the remarks. I don't remember. You guys say, I'm not in chat right now. I can't see it, but you guys let me know in chat. Do you guys know about that? About Forrest's remarks about being disappointed with the ending? I don't know about that. Okay, anyway, I'm going to keep going. I think Jack was able to determine all of this from Forrest's memoir at the Library of Congress, and he would have had the credentials and the knowledge to access it easily and faster than most. Why? Because he was a journalist? Hey. Each time I try to find out more information from the Library of Congress, I hit a dead end. So then I go back and find out more not seen on first attempt. Therefore, it must be deep somewhere in the Library of Congress. But you guys, you remember when Toby Eunice from A Gypsy Kiss went looking for it at the Library of Congress as well? But I don't know. Leading me to believe that this is in there, and that would certainly be listed in his memoir as his special spot. Bottom line is, Jack must have found the location through his memoirs from the Library of Congress. Can you ask the community what they think? Rick. Okay, Rick. Now I'm going to go back to the chat and see what people. Okay. Hi, ES. Good to see you. Hi, Nomadic Madman. Good to see you. Because of you, I now need to have biscuits and gravy. Like, I'm going to have to make that probably tomorrow. Like you subliminally planted that in my mind, and now I need that. Hooli, Jack said when he found it, he was in a new part of the forest, right? In the new part of the forest. Ooh, with 2 R's, because he had a memoir from the Library of Congress. He laughed when I told him my library card expired. Oh, so that was some sort of Mr. Street says, so Forrest wanted to be in a library. Interesting. He loved his library. He loved books. Did you guys ever watch that Dale YouTube Thrill the Chase on YouTube? Dale has all those interviews with Forrest, and Forrest showing his book collection, some of his books. He loves those books. And he flat out said that's where he was most comfortable, surrounded by his books, you know? I did go down a library rabbit hole as well, but my library was the Yellowstone Library. I think there's probably more than one Yellowstone library, but there is one in West Yellowstone. And I thought, that sounds like could be a thing. Homemade biscuits and gravy. Be sure to use ground sausage and homemade biscuits. I bet Eric Sloan ate biscuits and gravy. I bet he did. I know, homemade are the best. Although there is a really good bakery in the store just right around the corner, and they make a really good biscuit, but they don't make them fresh every day. You got to hit it right, and they're really good. Although I'm not afraid to make a biscuit. You just need lard, or, Okay, there I went. See, I'm hungry because what I ate tonight was kind of sucked. So I still want more food. I want biscuits and gravy. Susie, your sound is breaking up. Oh, is it? I am kind of far. I don't know. I'm on my laptop, and I was messing around. Maybe I have the volume turned down on I do. Oh no, that's right. Okay. Everything looks right. Maybe you'll do an episode on my YouTube channel about biscuits and gravy. Do it. That same grocery store has a really good, makes really good sausage too. Okay, so you guys, there I go. I'm just like squirrel. Let's go back to the Library of Congress. Steer it. Okay, so what do you think about that, you guys? Did you have any what was his main? I'm going back to my email. Hang on. If Jack found Forrest's memoir at the Library of Congress, he would be able to determine the location without the poem or the book or the clues. See, well, yeah, I suppose it could be possible if he, wrote in there, yeah. And then I hid my treasure in Yellowstone National Park. Maybe it's my crazy computer phone. So Toby of the AGK show went to the library and said it was not there. But maybe Toby does not have the skills of Jack. Or the would being a journalist get you any further into the Library of Congress than a normal person? It shouldn't. Or should it? Don't know. Good question. Drink to Yellowstone. Okay, I will too. Because it's so obvious. I mean, advertised full page color. Gold is a Yellowstone. I mean, he loved Yellowstone. The book was not there, but the audio files were, Susie. At the Library of Congress, there's audio files of his memoir? Of him himself reading this? Oh, it would be so good if there was like Forrest's voice reading all his own stories. Oh my God. That would be so good. But he did read the preface on that AGK interview, or when he was at the book signing, the Too Far to Walk book signing, right? Okay, I'm going, that's where I am. I got it out. And what always, okay, so one thing, he said that, the clue, there was not a clue, but a hint, or in the preface of Too Far to Walk, or that's what he wanted everyone to think or believe at the time, or, that was the seed he planted that night. And he knew he was being recorded. In fact, he asked Toby to record that. Okay, so this is what I find super interesting about. First of all, this is what it looks like. Oh, let's see, show you guys. See that bottom? Okay, see. So the first interesting thing is that the Roman numerals are lowercase Roman numerals, which is common for a book preface to be numbered that way. But what that means is this page is page 10. This is page 11. So page 10 is an X. There's an X on the shadow, right? So is that what he's talking about? But you know, that of course that page isn't numbered, but it's the same picture as this, right? I see my name. It said it was an obvious one, which would be 10 miles is too far to walk, right? Right, it does say that. Okay, I'm going to read it because Flora said I could. Kinda. He did. Several of the stories, okay, it says preface, and it's also what I also find as a detail in this book, it's first of all, it's super heavy and it's beautiful and it's colored and it's, but the fonts he uses, like it's a not a capital letter there, but it's here. And throughout the book, there are nine of the chapters that happen to start with here's one, a fancy letter, like see that O, that red square. So 9 of the 40 chapters, or how many chapters are there? There's a lot. I'm gonna look on that page. Oh, here we go. 49. There's 49. Okay, and what else is interesting too? Now I'm on the table of contents page. That it's still the Roman numerals. And then so okay, follow me down this rabbit hole. There's a Roman numeral on this page, and then there isn't one on this page, right? And if you turn the page, it now says 2, page 2. So that insinuates that this is page 1. About that. Okay. And then, how did I get? Look at me. Did I start reading this, you guys, and read like 3 sentences and then drove off? This might be impossible. I need some focus juice. Hang on. I think focus juice would be coffee. I need to slam some caffeine. Okay. Oh, I should look up. Oh, boy. I can't do 2 things at once. You guys, if you want to say anything to me or stop me or whatever, be sure to say at Susie Fenhaven so it highlights my name and so I can see when you're talking to me, because I'm really, really going to try to read it for real. Okay. Several of the stories in this book were originally published on our website, oldsantafetradingco.com, but I like the idea of sharing them on paper. The photos and drawings are a scrapbook peek back at who I used to be, and a few are about who I am. Okay. I am alarmed by the speed at which humans get old after they reach the age of 80. I hit that milestone 3 years ago, and I feel such an urgency to get this book to the printer that I've left out a few stories I wanted to tell. One was about helping my parents make soap over an open fire in our backyard in the 1930s. I remember the horrible smell when my father poured homemade lye into a large black kettle of boiling pig fat. Ooh, I want to interject a story right here. That a soap box, the bar soap and the soap box thing, that started from a guy, Hyde Park in Santa Fe. That Hyde Park, the guy that Hyde Park is named after, was the inventor of bar soap. Boom. Okay, back to the story. Homemade lye into large black kettles of boiling pig fat. Okay. Nor is there time to write the story about my mom inviting hobos into our kitchen when I was a kid. She prepared their favorite meals and made brown bag lunches for the road. She never turned away anyone who knocked on our door and asked for food. I wanted to write about being in Germany in 1957 and going to see Mrs. Erwin Rommel, the widow of the field marshal who failed in his attempt to kill Hitler. She invited me in for tea and a sweet. Her son, Manfred, was there, and he spoke some English. She thought no one would remember her husband. Another story I left out was about a friend and I entering a bar in Naples, Italy, to see if Lucky Luciano was there. He was. And the stares from his bodyguards insinuated that we should have a quick beer and leave, which we did. And then there was the long story about taking the train from Naples to Pompeii. A friend's father, who was a curator at the ancient ruins, gave me tactic permission to climb over a low wall and into a 2,000-year-old backyard. I dug in the sharp volcanic cinders with my gloved hands. A security guard spotted me and took me to a curator's lab where we sipped wine from the ancient amphora I had uncovered. It tasted like decayed vinegar. Praise and thanks must go to my wife, Peggy, who, for 67 years, has quietly helped me through life. It was 1946 when we started dating in high school. She has been a wonderful traveling companion, and she always understood when I needed space, which reminds me of a trip I took many years ago. I put a small rubber dinghy in the Madison River a few miles from West Yellowstone, Montana. I fished downstream to Baker's Hole. That part of the river was in the quietly forgotten western edge of Yellowstone Park. There were no roads, no trails, no rangers to remind me that I wasn't supposed to do that. The river distance was about 10 miles, and the best fishing was in the bends where the water turned greenish, deep, and beautiful. The small boat containing my camping gear was tethered to my belt as I leisurely walked in the quiet river. I spent 3 days there, casually casting my fly and enjoying the solitude. The river experience cemented my connection to that special country. I promised myself that someday I would make the trip again. That never came for me, and my disappointment still casts a lonely shadow across the Madison River. For me now, it's just too far to walk. For Sven. Oh. And then he does that. Damn it. So let's quick move. So then it goes to chapter 1 with a big 1 that's underlined is on page 2. And it starts out the chapter, and the chapter starts where it doesn't have It doesn't have one of those fancy letters. Okay. And then I'm going to show you one more thing in here before I look back at the chat and see what you guys have to say. Where'd it go? Oh, right here. All of the chapters, all 49 chapters, end with that little the FF wax stamp, except for this chapter, and it's jumping the milk truck. It actually starts on it. He has this beautiful illustration that takes up it's chapter 8, takes up 2 pages, and then the actual story starts here, and it has a fancy red letter, and it has this, instead of the FF, there's no FF ending this chapter. It has this iron. And if you look, I'm going to see if my camera can actually pick up. If you look really closely, if I stop moving it, in that shadow right there, it looks like it says something like maybe 105 degrees, or I don't know. I could argue. I don't know, but the reflection, and what, and iron, and an iron is like a steam iron. You plug it in and it gets hot, and warm waters halt. And why else an iron? What other reasons could there be for him ending this like he did? And an electric cord. And how tools change, and how an old iron used to be just a really heavy cast iron things that was heated on the stove, on the iron in the fire. Anyway, okay, I'm going to look at the chat. Susie, the iron is plugged in where Forrest Fenn would be. Okay. I forgot to look at okay, so this is on page 42. So the iron page would be 43, page 43, if that means anything to anybody. Oh, Lord Susie, you've been looking at images from The Secret. The wrinkles. Oh, wrinkles too. There's a hi Zozo Rocks. That's something too. To think about when you think of ironing, you can do a brainstorm. But okay, but that wasn't, I don't know. I got distracted again, just like, boom, there I go. The whole point of this was to talk about the preface and what you guys, now reading this, now looking back, to the, look at what do we know now that the treasure's been found. If you look close at the iron, has a green and red button at the top. Ooh, that's good. See? Details. Is it something like that? Is it a detail? Mine's blue. Mine's a blue and red button. What version of the book do you have? Nomadic Madman. Oh no, I got distracted again. What I just hit myself in the nose with my beer glass. Page 110. I want that drawing. Lucky Digger says I want the drawing on page. Oh, the one where he's I can show it to you because Forrest said I could. I hope he's laughing at me right now. You know what else? Okay, did I tell you all? Did I talk about this when I was going through all my random thoughts where I just got distracted again? In the table of content, all the number ones are capital letter I's, and all the zeros are actually O's. He's done the typewriter thing. Oh, it's blurry as crap. There we go. So that's a really interesting thing. So chapter 3, which starts on page IO, is called Expensive Memories. So it goes chapter 3, Expensive Memories, IO. And I don't that's funny though. Okay, so back to the preface. He talks about, okay, so it seems like 10 miles. How far did he say? Okay. So I put a rubber dinghy in the Madison River a few miles from West Yellowstone, Montana, and fished downstream to Baker's Hole. So that must mean he was traveling. Baker Hole is in Wyoming, correct? This is in Wyoming that he's talking about. I should look on Google. Do you guys know that off? Maybe I shouldn't push my computer. If I start looking on Google Maps when I have a live stream going, that could be the end of it. That could be curtains. Okay. What was I saying? Okay. So if they fish downstream to Baker's Hole, that part of the river was in a quietly forgotten western edge of Yellowstone Park. So I spent 3 days there, casually casting my fly and enjoying the solitude. The river experience cemented my connection to that special country. He uses the word country. He doesn't use the word place. But he pretty much said, here's my special place. Right? But now, okay, so when he did this, when did he do this? Okay. Which reminds me of a trip I took many years ago. I put a small rubber dinghy in the river a few miles from West Yellowstone, Montana, and fished Baker Hole. Okay, so how much development do you think went on? Is it possible that his too far to walk fishing hole was now easier accessible because of progress? Do you think perhaps that where he ended up near the Baker's Hole has now been developed to a point where there's a parking lot? It would make sense because I like the Baker's Hole reference because of all the baker and the pie references and the in the Thrill of the Chase, there's baking. Why ovens? Unless you were baking, and why the bakery? Why did he talk about that? And so Baker's Hole is a really across. So it's the Madison River. The Baker's Hole is a part of the Madison River. Like the Madison River is like huge, right? I don't know how it works. I see my name. Thank you, Lucky Digger. Save me, you guys. What do you say? You should go through the book chapter by chapter, like Baron Fendi. I know. I know. They're kind of inspired me to do that, but is it necessary? I did that once already, and actually, I did that because I asked for it. That's how I got permission. I mean, I did the whole book, but I deleted every single one of those, and I didn't just put them on private. I didn't just make them go away. No, I deleted my whole library. I deleted like 400, over 400 videos. I just deleted them, gone. So, but he did tell me I could read it, so I don't know where that would get me. I think I don't know what to think. I do love this. You know, the map is just so. He also said that would be a question to ask Jack. Have we asked Jack if Too Far to Walk and Once Upon a While, if he read those books, if they were at all helpful, or does he understand? You know, were there hints and clues in this stuff? Forrest said, yeah, because the map is in here and the poem isn't on the map. Is why there's clues in this book, right? I don't know. Okay. I realized today that Piper means Piper is an airplane. Pi is a number. Lucky Digger says, I think Bear and Fendi are missing a lot of stuff. Well, they don't have permission to read it online. Well, what they're doing is they're analyzing it. They're looking at it beforehand and making notes about their ideas and inviting us to join in the conversation and inviting us to talk about these things and make notes. So, I suppose I could play along with wherever they're at right now. You know, play along on their show. But I don't think I have permission to show that on their channel. Just I don't know. K-Pro's letter from Santa Fe that was in North Carolina was in the FedEx truck. Huh? I'm missing something. Looks like it will have a delayed delivery, huh? No, start from the beginning. No, start from the beginning. What? Start what? I can't. I don't know where it begins. Where does it end? Does it ever end? Oh, God, you guys. This might be a short night. Although I've already been on here for 50 minutes. And then those other guys are on too. Is Greg still on? Or is those guys? They were actually talking about something real. When I right before I started, they were talking about like a real subject matter for a moment. you could analyze the scrapbooks. Mhm. But yeah, and that does bring a good point to this, because these are all scrapbooks that Forrest did publish. It says right there that these came from the old Santa Fe Trading Company, and they're all before 2013. All these were written before 2013, the stories in this book. And and out of all the scrapbooks on old Santa Fe Trading Company at that time, I wonder if these are all of them at the time that he decided to make this book, if he published all the ones he had written, or if he picked these out like he did for, then these did end up on Dale's site. But I don't think Dale's site was in existence when he wrote this book in 2013. Dale's website wasn't a thing. He starts talking about, here's it, the forward is by Suzanne Summers in this book. Yeah, he starts talking about he starts right at the beginning with his website. And then when you go to that page where he does have Dale, but Dale Neitzel is credited on all these photos. Like didn't he, and that Too Far to Walk picture that I just showed you guys? Where'd it go? Right here. No, he doesn't credit Dale with that one, but he credits Dale with right here. It says, there's Dale's name, photograph, and it's this photograph. And then Forrest said that he sent Dale to the Madison River to take this photograph, but he doesn't credit Dale for this one. There's another anomaly about this book. And what he said right at the launch of this book about Dale. But anyway, what was my point? My point was, Old Santa Fe Trading Company was a website where these scrapbooks are. And then once Dale's published or made his website, he took over, or he had all the scrapbooks published and went on, to how many ever. But after this book, when he did Once Upon a While, he had hundreds of scrapbooks, couple hundred over, so out of all those to pick from, why pick those certain ones, and that would be, does Jack know the answer to that sort of thing? And I don't know. Hi, Rowdy Yates. I haven't said hi. I was told there are no stupid questions. You're right. Forrest and Stan look like their brother and sister. Did that come out in 2013? Yes. I just lost another 2 years of my life. Why do you say that? Godelkin says, I don't have my book. On one of the pages in the middle, it says art is where you find it. Can you see or find it for me? I don't have my book. On one of the pages in the middle, it says art is where you find it. Is it is it about the art of, that modern art stuff? This is a huge, big. There's a lot of, he talks about art a lot in this book. Like this guy's sold some art to him. And here's his swamp art. And oh, and then there's that picture of where he has a Vimeo link to watch the river, a video of the river flowing, the Madison River, supposedly. Okay, here is this it? This one about Modigliani. Is that? I don't see where it says. Oh, there's the alligators. F is for fake. And he calls this chapter Emil Dehori on fire. On fire, you know, like there's a blaze. Okay. I don't know, Gadel Khan. This is too heavy. Greg is threatening a 90-day grace period for the family. Yeah, what are we missing? This is stupid. Let's go over to Greg's channel and hear all the made up drama. God. You know. I don't want to be a part of that circus. Art Connection, clue 8 and 9, says Zozo. Storytelling time. You could go on with Greg if you don't call him an idiot. Oh, that's like, that would be so hard for me to do. Ugh, I don't know if that's possible. I mean, I know my limits. It's painful. He's a clown. I'm not mad. Not mad. I'm at all. I'm not. Okay, Larry says Greg is a douchebag. Oh, Larry, how dare you? How dare you make me read that out loud? Be prepared to have your IQ drop 40 points. Well, I mean, but there's a place, and there's a place for that too. The made up drama, fake news, the whatever, the underbelly of there's a place for that, because it is entertaining AF at times. But there's also a place for, you know what? But it feels better. It feels more, it just feels better to talk about things like this. Talk about things that are ideas. Let's talk about ideas. I like that better. You know? Yeah. Good one. Okay, wait. No. One good thing is that they're having a civil conversation. Okay, good. Where's Susie? If you are not using teachers with ropes to find where warm waters halt, you are not following teachers with ropes or where warm waters halt. Look at the picture of the teachers halting the car. I know. Schultz, I mean, you are not kidding. That is a really, really good It's a good argument because that's the sign that her arm out. That's the signal for halt. Um, and so when you're looking, when he said, read my book and then go through my book slowly, looking for clues that will help you with, or looking for hints that will help you with the clues in my poem, and that is exactly something that makes you go, that that picture of that's this way. Oh, I'm on the Bonko. Nope, now I've gone too far. Here it is. And and this is on page, it's on page 111. I. That looks like 777. There's my. But anyway, I do like that. Who said that? Good thinking. Oh, Dennis. It says teachers with ropes where warm waters halt. It's like we're leading you. I'm Forrest. I'm I'm gonna. And then he talks about how the sculpt. Why is it warm to the touch? In the room is cold, or why is it cold and the room is warm? So there's temperature brought up, and the temperature of the bronze. I like that. Have you eaten many dingleberries? Street, says Atlantic Coast. Leave them alone. Who? What? I'm missing it. One of my friends sent me the etymology of avocados and guacamole today. I called him crying. Oh, holy. Atlantic Coast. No, I go for the higher fruit. The low-hanging fruit. Grab every banana. Okay, Larry says Forrest is the teacher. More than one rope. Jack says no snow, but threatening. It is cold. I'm in the polar vortex, Minnesota. It was negative 9 degrees when I came up here. But the wind chill is supposed to be like 35 below tonight. Ugh. Yoda is calling. Oh, there's no try, only do. There's no try. Yeah. He starts at the canyon street. Then he says he can't. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Ooh, Dennis, this is good. Why not talk about your ideas like this? Because teacher takes 4 steps and turns around and says, do not touch. Then he talks about the bronze being cold, feeling in a warm room. Yeah, and canyon is a street. On Canyon Street, the potholes on Canyon Street. I mean, he's talked about, and there's another clue in the book where if you're talking about when he says look for clues or hints in the book, that'll help you with the clues in the poem. In more than one place, he's referred to canyon as in canyon down, canyon as a street name. It's a street name in more than one story in the Thrill of the Chase. So it sure seems like in the canyon down, the canyon is the name of the street, or in the canyon, or north on canyon, or is in the canyon down is canyon, that means you go south on Canyon Street. I don't know. Anyway, I like it, and thanks for keeping the ideas. Thanks for the ember, the sparks, right? Jason North Phase. Hi, Susie, he says. Hi, Jason. You're talented. Aren't you on with those other guys? I was thinking of just jumping off here and coming over and seeing what you guys have to say. And just hang in the fringe. Bet it's really freezing in Minnesota. Yes, MJ Hanser. It's ridiculous. Like my sister's car. I don't have a garage. So the poor car has to sit outside in the 9 degrees, 10 degrees below zero. So you have to start it. Like we'll have to start it tonight again and let it run for a while. So the battery won't freeze to death overnight. Otherwise, like your car could go dead overnight because it's so damn cold. Anyway, thanks, Susie. I hope you have a nice Friday night. Yeah, I know she doesn't have a block heater. She doesn't. My old Jeep has one, but that thing's deader than a doornail now. It's just, never mind. Let's not talk about that. Ew, see, gross. What did Forrest say? The Catcher in the Rye was a story, but he needed to change the names and places in his places in his book. He said he wanted to add on, or at least change it to his story, or at least add on. And so what is the Catcher? It's about the kids, it's like saving the kids. The Catcher in the Rye is the underlying big picture story. It's about the kids, and that's what Forrest has pretty much said, that he did this to get the kids off the couch. So I like that big picture thinking, Dennis. Thank you for participating tonight. Kate Elkin. Nice try. What kind of teacher needs ropes in the real world? I don't know. Is that a trick question? Mountain climbers? Those who teach mountain climbing? Those who teach, what else do you do? Military teachers. They have to climb those, do the, obstacle course situation. A gym teacher. Yep, they do the rope things. Did you put a charger on the battery at night? That's all. Charger on the battery at night. That's all. Don't have one. It works. We're dealing with it. We just go out there and let it run for a little bit. But it's going to be brutal. It's like 14. Like it's supposed to get, like in the morning, it's supposed to be like 14 below or 15 below. That's real temperature without wind chill. That's like the real thing. Anyway, okay. So I'm going to go, you guys. And I really appreciate you guys stopping in and keeping my, the sparks. And take the high ground with me, y'all. And I'll see you again soon, right? Okay, I'm pushing buttons.